Hello?
Hello,
Is this George Underwood?
it's speaking.
Wow, it's so nice to hear you.
Is that Nathan?
Yep.
Hello. How are you, alright?
I'm alright, yourself?
Not bad, thanks.
So thank you so much for doing this.
That's okay.
Okay, so let's get to it, okay?
Righto.
Okay, so first question is, what would you say were the defining traits of 70s album art?
The defining traits. That's an interesting question. Let's think. Well, I suppose I was lucky enough to be able to give them fairly good free range regarding, the artistic content. Listening to the music and liking it. I think that liking the music is quite important. And 70s music, yeah, it was a bit different from a lot of the other time. I think it was a good time for album covers because that was a really good format for an artist. It's a fairly large format to be seen, and unlike a CD, which is very small. So does that make sense?
Yeah, that's all great, thank you. On the topic of CDs, how do you feel about the way album art appears on streaming services? The way it's only the front cover and not the back?
I haven't really thought about it, to tell you the truth. It's not really, doesn't really interest me that much. I think the way that music is marketed generally is so different to when I was doing it. Things have changed so much. And you don't see so much illustration nowadays. It's all, either AI or digital. There seems to be a lot of mechanical processes going into work rather than the artistic approach.
Yeah, I do think that's a genuine shame.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I do think the size has a lot to do with it, though. I don't think you get so much a taste of it. It's like sort of seeing a little Rembrandt about 3 inches square. You don't really get. It's just too small to appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at some of your covers now, and the one for Tyrannosaurus Rex, My People Were Fair. That's a massive landscape with loads of characters.
That was the first album cover I ever did, in fact. Yeah, that was actually 60s. It was late 60s, but it wasn't it? No, hold on, 71. Wasn't it? No, hold on. Anyway, my memory is it's a long time ago now. But no, I enjoyed doing that. Mark Burnham was a sort of interesting, sort of cosmic sort of person, and I was trying. I had this book of Gustave Doré engravings, and I nicked a few ideas from that and put on the cover, and it sort of appealed to Mark's sense of his sort of esoteric look on things. So I think it was. I was happy with the result of that. I got a lot of feedback from it.
Excellent. How did you come to work with the Fix on so many of the album covers?
Actually, I had an agent at that time, and that was through my agent. They were approached and asked if so I did it through an agent, and I met the manager and the band, and got to know the band, and went to recording studios and listened to the music, and they were very, we had a good relationship. They were quite happy to give me a few hints and ideas of what Cy, who wrote the music, he the lyrics sort of, he was trying to sort of help me along a bit, and Reach the Beach, which is the first one. I was quite happy with the way that went because I liked the music for a start, and they I done some sketches and ideas, and we talked about it, and then I went ahead and did it. It was quite easy going, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I always liked the cover to Reach the Beach, and I shouldn't have really been surprised it was you, because it has all your hallmarks of quality.
Oh, thank you. That's nice.
Yeah. So another question. So, is it true you used to spend time illustrating book covers before albums?
Yes, I had book covers. As a working illustrator at that time, I took on all sorts of things, Some good, some bad. I mean, the good stuff was book covers. I enjoyed that because you could read the book, which I wouldn't normally have read possibly, and come up with some ideas. Unless sometimes the art director had a specific idea of what they wanted on the cover, which is quite rare. I did get a fairly free hand at coming up with ideas, but at the same time, alternatively, I had to do advertising work and things which weren't quite so, as we say, artistically fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
Because the art director would say to me, can you solve this problem for us? The client's got this idea, and I said, well, actually, I've got a better idea. Why don't we do it? No. The client wants it like this. So I had to go along with what they wanted rather than what I wanted, which is, I did it for the money rather than anything else.
Yeah.
But those were the days when, to pay the rent.
I think similar to album covers as well, book covers are also very minimalist nowadays.
Well, I like doing them because there was if you're reading a book and I read a book and we talk about it afterwards, we both get different ideas of what we think. It's certain things stick out more than others, and I just picked on the things that I thought would visually work, and I was happy with the way that it went. I was happy with the covers I did. They were quite nice to do. Yeah.
Did you have a particular favourite book cover you did?
Well, favourite is difficult because the ones that I found were so. An art director he called me in and said, "Look, George, we've got this book that's been out a few years, hasn't done anything. It had a cover of it with a skull, nothing very interesting. And it was called Necroscope, and it was horror. I hadn't done much, or I had done a bit of horror, but this was a bit of a challenge because the art director said, I want to sort of relaunch it with a different. So I came up with a formula which actually ended up being called what was it called? It's almost called had its own genre. It was called class horror or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it went down a storm, and his books have been selling millions ever since. And I did about 10 covers for him, and then I think I had enough by then. But I found people had tattoos of my images on their arms and stuff. Well, talking of which, it's a tattoo of my people were fair. Someone sent me of the whole of their back done in the album cover.
Wow.
Which I thought was rather exceptional.
Yeah.
There you go. Some people go certain lengths, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, if an album's good enough, that album cover is going to be immortal.
Yeah, well, that's what happened in the 70s, wasn't it? And late 60s. You did have things on your wall which, like album covers. Yeah, sometimes people would use them as, things which you'd put on the wall or something,
Yeah.
Not so much now,
No.
No.
I mean, to this day, they're still printing T-shirts with the Hunky Dory logo on it and the album art. I've got one myself.
Yes. Yeah, good old Hunky Dory. Yeah, well, that was. So no one really knew how big and how iconic that album would be at the time. Mind you, it happened with a lot of albums, but that particular one, David was pretty unknown at that time. I mean, he burst through with the Ziggy thing, honestly. That was a massive breakthrough. But
You also designed the cover for Ziggy as well, didn't you?
Well, what happened was, David gave me. He said, "David, George, I've got this album coming out, and here's some prints I've got that Brian Ward did, and they're sepia prints. Can you colour them up? Hand in them or something." So which I hard over, and I said to David, I think maybe it might be that I should try airbrush on this. And he said, no, I want you to do it. I said, yeah, airbrush artist that I shared the studio with, Terry, he said, "Oh, okay then." So I got Terry to do it, they didn't. He wasn't going to credit him on the back. I had to change it, so I put Terry's credit on the back because he did a fine job, and David liked it, so it was good. But it was by art direction on that, you see. And I say, but when for the Rise and Fall, Ryan Wall once again, whose studio was literally in Hammond Street, literally a couple of feet away from where it was taken, and as you can see, it started to rain, and that's why David went inside the phone box and keep out of the rain. And little things come along which make everything sort of work somehow. And once again, it was airbrushed. Yeah.
What would you say are the essential ingredients of a truly great and memorable album cover?
The ingredients. Well, I think I can remember looking through album sleeves and thinking, God, that's a great cover. I didn't know who the person was or the music, but I bought it on the strength of the cover because it had such an effect on me, and that could be jazz, or it could be, I was trying to do that with when I was after the Gentle Giant cover. That was what I was aiming for, something that was like hit people in the eyes, So I got that giant's head on the front, and it was a gatefold and him holding the band on the other side. But that was, what's the ingredients? I suppose is a bit of shock, a bit of awe, and a bit of oh wow, that's amazing. You've got to give some kind of the wow factor, and finding that is not easy. No.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I think I've discovered a lot of albums through sort of shock value.
Yeah, it does, and I think book cover can do that as well.
So, out of all the album covers you worked on, which would you say is your favourite?
I thought you might ask me that.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that's a difficult one, really. The one that I must admit, like, I suppose I have to think of the Tyrannosaurus Rex as being my first one, as being my sort of my sort of firstborn, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
So that's holds a dear memory for me. I liked working with the Fix, and also had some good stuff. I think I have to say the T-Rex one was my favourite in that, because it although it's old now and it's been around a long time, I kind of look back on it, with great love and affection, really. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, George?
No, but I just wish that there was more fine art, if you like, or painting or something like that, being used to promote music. I think music could do with a bit of imagination in that direction. Mm-hmm. That's all. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, well, thank you so much, George, for taking this call.
You're welcome.
It's been very helpful.
And I hope it goes well with the program. Let us know when it's out.
Okay, thank you very much, George.
Okay, Nathan.
Goodbye.